We have a brand new Hytale blog post that shadow dropped from the Hytale development team. Hello, my name is Thomas Frick, and I've been directing art Hytale for the past decade. Today, we are so happy to finally share some tips and tricks to get you started on making models in the style of Hytale. There is so much on the topic. Consider this an introduction to a larger series, shareouts about the Hytale art style. Now buckle up. Man, I'm excited because this is exactly what I needed, because one of the plans that I have for a future stream and video is getting a bunch of Hytale creators together that have never ever done Hytale model making, done model making in general. Now all of us go into blockbench blind and have to make the same exact, let's say, sword, and it's going to be a complete mess. So we're going to have this as a kind of, tutorial, a guide. So we have one art style to bind them all. Hytale is a vast game containing many universes and themes. You could be visiting Orbis and end up in mini games shooting aliens or riding dinosaurs in the prehistoric world. No matter what you see in-game, we aim at building a consistent and emblematic art style across all game modes and media we craft. So that means concept art, UI, modeling, animation, VFX, level design, you name it. And a lot of that has been put into it. We want players to feel like they are experiencing is part of the same universe, the world of Hytale. In any game, art direction is the glue that binds every aspect together and maintains a consistent, enjoyable immersion. It will support game design and lore and ultimately generate player delight. Okay, now we get a bunch of images. I'm gonna tease. Hold on, I'm gonna tease. What the hell? Okay, wait. We got some funny images. We got a lot of visuals. I like blogs with visuals. Let's get into it. A modern stylized voxel game with retro pixel art textures. I guess that's Hytale's art style if you had to describe it in a single sentence. Hytale art style was born of a combination of influences by fully leveraging modern game engine capabilities while preserving the charm of our old school pixel art. We are at the intersection of low definition pixel art and hand painted 3D. Okay, so this is pixel art and this is hand painted, and we're kind of like, more towards pixel art, less hand painted, but it's still like close to the middle is what I'd say here. 23-minute video. Wait, are you serious? Oh, shoot, with Photoshop and model making. Okay, we got a lot to go through. We got the pillars. Oh, we've seen the pillars before of Hytale. That was the 3 doors, if anyone remembers. We have distilled the essence of Hytale's style into what we call the art pillars. Every time we create something new, we ask ourselves, is this compatible with our core visual pillars? And these pillars are immersive, our aspiration. We want players to feel and why. Fantasy, our theme, the settings we want the game to take place in, the rules of our universe. Stylized, our visual choices, the way we paint, model, texture, and animate, our stylistic choices. And then flexible, our technical choices, the philosophy for supporting our creators, the approach to our tools. So immersive means we aspire to make our world feel alive and for its digital nature to vanish. Art helps maintain the illusion of this lively world. There is motion and detail everywhere. Wind blows in the leaves. Creatures wander around. Clouds travel and let light pierce through. The world reacts to the player. Creatures interact with them. Their eyes express emotion and interest. We aspire that the game's visual will leave a lasting impression on Hytale's players' memories. And I think everyone in chat can agree right here. Every single time we see the game, it feels super immersive. I think sound design also has a big thing to do with that, but the visuals make you really feel like you are in the world. The visual style is fantasy. Hytale is deeply fantasy, but isn't limited to our core medieval fantasy world of Orbis. Our art style remains recognizable and consistent across universes, stories, and themes. Each character we create has a unique personality and twist, even when we reuse popular archetypes. Stylized. This is, by the way, I think what they mean is like reuse popular archetypes. So like the orc is a popular archetype, and we have the trork. And so you can definitely tell the trork is Hytale itself, even though it leans off of that archetype, where the skeletons, zombies, whatever, they're distinctly Hytale. Stylized. This is the visible portion. Let me keep the images on screen too. This is visible through our proportions, color palette, and stylistic choices. Our models aim to be iconic and easily identifiable so players can read the world they navigate, regardless of how cluttered the space is. Simplicity is key. It doesn't mean low quality, and it takes many iterations to achieve. We carefully select which parts of the geometry geometry to preserve and which to discard to achieve consistency. Flexible. Because our models are composed of primitive shapes like cubes and quads, it is also very easy to understand how they're made when creating them. We keep technical structure simple enough to be easy to comprehend, iterate on, and read, so our artists and users can make theirs. Our tools are designed to be used and shared with everyone, so this is the true goal of Hytale, empowering user creativity. So basically, flexible is like the umbrella that takes all three of these to be like, okay, this is kind of what we're going for, and you can kind of tinker around with it. You can change however you want, and it'll still feel Hytale, the Hytale renderer. The game wouldn't look as great without the technology bringing everything together. As described in the blog post about technical requirements, our engine is designed to run efficiently on older computers, prioritizing speed while also displaying an impressive number of elements at a satisfying view distance. And the view distance was pretty damn large the last time we saw it in that technical blog post. We want our game to be playable by as many people as possible, so it will always be a matter of compromises between what's beautiful and what's performant. And I think the big example of this is it isn't an Unreal Engine 5 like reality slop visual thing where, you know, you have to go for every single pixel detail to be as quote realistic as possible, but then you need like 10 NVIDIA DLSs to run it at 20 FPS. Hytale's not doing that. We aren't using the industry standard PBR workflows. Roughness, normal maps, displacement, etc. It's really tailored to elevate the art style in its unique way. We want to avoid applying effects that would damage the handcrafted texture style. The shading modes, shadow map, SSAO, fog, and bloom we apply to the world are the cherry on top, making Hytale feel cozy and vibrant. Ultimately, even without any effects, our models should look good on their own. We paint lights, shadows, inside textures, and use real lights, shadows to bring everything together. We aren't using PBR workflows to create complex materials. Instead, we rely on in-house light propagation techniques. We apply a set of shaders and post-processing effects such as bloom, depth of field, and ambient occlusion. So what is next for the rendering engine? Rendering deserves its own blog posts, but it will continue to evolve significantly. In the future, we plan to address some visible light propagation issues and add colorimetry and gamma features, allowing us to gain more control over the color grading of the game. We are also exploring more flavorful textures such as God rays, transparent glass, and many surprises. Transparent glass is super interested. Okay. Making models for Hytale, getting started. This is the tutorial, essentially. Okay. So now you have a glimpse of the theory of Hytale. You are probably eager to know about how to start making models. Well, let's dive in. Note, these are the best practices, so you don't have to follow them strictly. You are the master of your own craft, and there's no good or bad way to create it as long as you are having fun. So you can download the latest blockbench and Hytale blockbench plugin here. And then there's the source code to be viewed. Okay, so you can download and start making Hytale models as of right now. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put the blog post and blockbench links in the description. So if you want to start making your own models, you can do that right after you watch the video. Definitely watch till the end. To help you build models, we are releasing a blockbench plugin tailored to our engine's needs. Please note that this plugin is also in early access and might encounter bugs. We will continue. We have seen this in everything. I know they have to keep saying that you might encounter bugs, but I feel like there isn't a single thing with Hytale that you won't encounter bugs in. Let's be so honest here. We will continue to make it more efficient and feature complete soon. This plugin helps maintain a consistent pixel ratio across textures, enabling the export models and animations in the correct format, along with other quality of life improvements detailed in the plugin patch notes. Okay, our geometry constraints. Let me read before looking at the picture. When making models, we only use two primitives, cubes and quads. No edge loops, no special topology, no triangles, pyramids, or other functions of more traditional modeling styles. This ensures all models are easy to make, unwrap, and animate, and don't require weight painting, rigging, or a 3D art degree to get started. The blockbench plugin will help you keep everything simple. So, okay, it's not gonna load, but cubes, quads, and then angles with cubes and quads like this are cool. Okay, you can't skew them, you can't bevel or edge loop them. Traditional topology, okay, because that would have additional points there. It's just a single quad or a cube, and then no acute angles. Okay, interesting. The Hytale proportions. The character bodies are far from realistic. They are small, bulky, and cartoony. This supports the chunky style used in every other element in the game. Similarly, blocks and furniture are toy-like and have pure and iconic shapes. Yeah, this is so important. This looks like you know those updated Roblox models, those like Anthro Roblox characters? That's exactly what this looks like compared to the stylized proportions. It's so bad. Chunky, bulky, thick. I mean, this table just looks so much better than this. This looks like a free-to-play Steam game. That's the type of game that would have this table look. When creating characters, we carefully name each node to make it compatible with our animation system. As soon as the bones are properly named, they will be animated in-game. If you're curious, here's an example of the player's hierarchy. I'm not really interested. Oh, and don't forget, no spheres allowed. Yeah, this looks goofy. This is a funny image. I love this. I think the funniest part is the fact that the X is kind of like skewed. It's not like just a normal X. It's like, you know, moved to the side like that. How many triangles do I put in my model? We work as simply as possible, then slightly increase geometry and polygon count when needed to improve the silhouette. This isn't only a stylistic choice, it's also for performance reasons. In many scenes, Hytale renders several thousand blocks and voxels simultaneously, resulting in several million triangles per frame. Triangles are a major contributor to FPS loss. To minimize impact on the graphics card, artists need to ensure models are highly optimized, and here are some examples. So, complexity of models depending on frequency in game. We have hyper used, around 8 triangles. Models you see everywhere are used in the thousands. So these are like the leaves. Okay, that's tier 1 hyper used. Then we have common, 0 to 50. Okay, so it gets higher and higher. Present in hundreds. In a scene example, a large fern or branch or mushrooms. These have a lot more triangles. Then a T3 is rare, under 400 triangles. Only a few should be present in a world gen scene at the same time. Example, most furniture, an adventure chest, a statue. And then T4, the epic. So this is a triangle count, varies a lot. Mostly characters. We can afford a couple thousand triangles for fully equipped NPCs, and even more if it's a large boss model. And this is a new character. That's a brand new character. That's crazy. It's an NPC. Yeah, but we've never seen this kind of model before, so that's super interesting. What size should be my textures? Textures can be non-square and must be multiples of 32. So 32, 64, 96, 128, etc. Here are some guidelines depending on what you want to create. Blocks and character textures, blocks and characters, texture, texel density ranges from simple to double, and the engine automatically scales characters attachments down to match the world size. So when modeling, you are presented with two options. Make a character or attachment. So this is a cosmetic, tool, weapon, food item, and the density will be 64 pixels per unit, or you make a prop/block, and that's going to be a 32 pixel per unit. This important decision was made after careful consideration and is a matter of compromise. Here's what we have learned. Hytale is about conveying emotions. Higher density for characters allows for details on skin, tattoos, makeup, and mouth motion. It also allows for more life to be injected into faces. We felt constrained by the lower resolution. The faces of characters and creatures are what you see first from very close up, especially in first person when fighting or interacting with other players. Large pixels in front of the camera tend to distract from the beauty of the world and break immersion. Higher density for characters helps them detach from the environment, enhances the overall readability of the scene, avoiding a chaotic perception of space because it attracts the player's eyes towards what they should see first. It helps show more details and cosmetics and offers more personalization options for logos, materials, grainy textures, ornaments, and more. In first person, it helps with the visual of your hand or tool item equipped, which can look distracting close to the camera. Okay, I really like this bullet point list because it shows how much thought they put into specifically the visual style of Hytale, that something, you know, someone just like looking at it or just playing the game might never have thought of why are the characters so much more high resolution. Well, this is why. Then we have the Hytale characters and attachments. We have a full map here that you can basically like color around, right? And then if you're wondering why the player texture is gray, it's because we dynamically tint in game. So now we have the blocks per size. The blocks are all 32 by 32, and workbench, for example, this is 96 by 64 pixels, and it just says block. Stretching. We also allow stretching geometry, which will stretch the pixels at the same time in order to do some fine adjustments. Example, avoiding Z fighting when geometry overlaps or when we need to slightly resize something. This is our way to go around pixel density limitations and cheat a little if we need it. However, we avoid going under 0.7x and over 1.3x for the stretch for a node in one axis. After that, it becomes clear the pixels are stretched. See for yourself, they are made very obvious. We have the clop. We see the clop again in a very, very wide stretch. Low key, we might need to add this as an emote for chat. I'm gonna remove the X and we'll add this as an emote. This is a very funny image. Which brush should I use to paint my textures? It's a question we get often, but texturing for Hytale doesn't actually require any special brushes to get started. Using any paint software like Photoshop, GIMP, Clip Software, Affinity. Okay, we get the job. Here are two very simple brushes we use often. The pencil brush with opacity on for details and the round soft brush with opacity pressure for softening surfaces and creating volume. So the pencil is a specific pixel like this and a soft brush is more feathering. Let's see. This is too rough. This is too soft. And this is the good mix between both of them. So they definitely use a mix of both. And now we get to see an example of, I think this is the brush, and then this is the pencil tool. You can see the difference. He's like shading over here and then drawing over here. And this is the mix of it to make them look better. I think that's exactly what he's trying to show here. Pencil, hold on. Yeah, pencil for coloring, block, soft brush for smoothing, and shading, opacity, pencil for polish. Of course, you can use any brushes you want. Your art style is yours, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So whenever you see our blockbench modeling competition, do not tell us our art style is not perfect, because whenever I first log into blockbench and make probably the most beautiful looking sword you've ever seen, you're gonna have to accept it that it's my art style, and it's not just bad. It's intended to look that way. The key element is that we want to treat each texture as an illustration, in the sense that we often bake shadows, ambient occlusions, and highlights directly into the texture to simulate more complex lighting than there really is in the game. It's all a matter of creating an illusion of detail when there isn't that much. We avoid noise, too much grain, or perfectly flat surfaces. So first pass on model, it lacks a bit of volume. I see. And then there's a bunch of the lighting, the shadows to make the couch look a lot better. And this is the same here. This is very flat, and they're adding the different highlights and shading on it. And man, I mean, it's pretty much the same model, but the difference is pretty stark. The difference is pretty stark. I'm not bad, I'm just different. No, it's intended to look a little worse. That's my art style, actually. It's modern art. How do I pick good colors for my models? Apart from what art theory will teach you, there aren't real limits for picking colors. Avoid pure white and pure black, as this will break lighting in game. Add too much contrast will ruin your values. We tend to add color in our shadows, and they are never purely desaturated colors and always contain nuances. For example, a hint of purple in the shadows will sometimes make a model more vibrant. I see, okay. To understand if your color palette values are on point, there's nothing better than trying to implement your model in game once the game is out. So this lacks vibrancy, washed out shadows, and lacks definition in some areas. And then the purple hues in the shadows, some orange hints on the subsurfaces scattering, vibrance and interesting color. I see, okay. Imagine a spotlight above your models. This is where you should paint more light and contrast to help base top parts pop out. Okay, so the top has more light, the bottom is less light. Okay, interesting. Shading mode and material. If you are working on a character and want to showcase it from blockbench, we recommend disabling side shadows to avoid creating a hard edge on the body, especially if you try to simulate curvy organic volumes. In-game, for performance and style reasons, we work with a tight set of material types. We call them shading modes. Blockbench isn't able to display these shading modes yet, but you are able to set them and export them for Hytale for each of your models. So main shading modes, this is standard, good for solid materials, edged mark with side shadows. All right, and then we have flat, good for organic or softer surfaces. And then we have full bright, no shadows, glows at night, emits bloom. Interesting. And now we are at the end of the blog post and have some videos to go through. I want to read the final talking point here. The Hytale's art role is also to support the community by sharing our creative vision, our tools, and good practices. So you, whether you are an advanced creator or simply curious, and he's talking about me when he says advanced creator can take the leap and have everything you need to dive into making beautiful models. We will soon share about the advanced techniques for modeling, animation, VFX, and UI art. We hope this blog post will be useful for your creations, that you will have a good time editing the vast world we built for you. Attached below are a small selection of models for your enjoyment and tinkering. Interesting. Okay, let's see. How long are these?
Hello everyone.
An hour long? Okay, actually, we probably might not be able to watch the entire thing, but we'll watch a little bit of it.
From the Hytale team. I've been art directing the game for a little while, and today I will show a video. It's actually a series of video. I want to make a creature for Hytale and with the blockbench plugin. And
yeah, the fact that he's talking over it is so helpful, and you don't have to just like kind of watch and guess what's happening. You can download the Magma Golem model. It's so cool. That's really hype.
And starting with a concept, so this video is about showing you a bit about the process before modeling.
Okay, we're gonna skip through a little bit. So we have the Magma Golem over here, a character. We've seen this character before, and I assume he's trying to match them all up. Okay, so he starts drawing them, and then he eventually starts, yeah, he's just drawing the concept right here, and then I assume once he's done with the concept, then he goes in and starts making the model. Yeah, starts making the model like that. And then we'll skip to the end here where we can see the model. So this is the final thing that he created right over here.
Some tiling problems here and here. But you know, the goal is not to do a perfect model. It's to...
Dude, he looks so sick. I hope this is in the game. I hope this Magma Golem's in the game. This guy's so cute. It reminds me of like something you'd see in like Super Mario, I think. This guy's adorable. I love him. Man, oh man. Yeah, these are very long videos. I don't think there's any point to doing a reaction on them, but well, they're in the blog post, and so if you're watching the video, or you know, just go in the blog post if you want to watch them. It's an hour and a half of Hytale model making.